It's Billy. Right now. Yo, what if I got attacked by the clones? What if the builder think they found a better stone? What if the beat don't match with the metronome? What if that means you walk your path alone? Call me a vagabond. If all these streets leading to Rome, then wherever I lay is my home. It's Brooklyn, boy strong. I manifest, I'm in the zone. Y'all silly better back up off my throne. Listen, boy nice, better give him his propers. How we come out sane from all the mosh pits. How we found the key to the game without a locksmith. How we seem to manage these lanes is so obnoxious. He let it flow from the brain, trusting the process. A vet journeyman on multiple rosters. If I want it, I go out and get it and cop it. A monster with limitless options. Man, like goddamn, y'all gon' soon figure out who I am. We stay cooking, y'all used to that spam. Western beef, I might square up at the square dance. Look, I change plans, not even a southpaw, I'm an outlaw with a rare stance. Your crew never had a fair chance.
Why's that?
I kill a whole bear with my bare hands. Oh, they studied the dark? Well, I was raised in it. Brain shifted, the kid displayed insane physics. Best story never told, and it ain't finished. How we handled the rock, spun and kept the same pivot. I frame different, hot like a flame kitchen. A whole 2 levels out of your range gifted. Catch me on the highway, lane switching. Or right at the top of your bay wish list. It's Billy. Right now. It's Billy.
Yo. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Happy Sunday. Sheba Sunday. Yes. Hey, y'all. Can you tell that I'm standing today? My awesome producer, Billy Bunton, challenged me or asked if I wanted to try standing. You know, I have a sedentary lifestyle about me, so this will be my workout for the day. But also I'm gonna sit sometimes on this little stool. Hey, how you doing? Happy Sunday. Thank you for coming. I was gonna start with the ritual of saging, but I can't for the life of me remember where I put the sage. So if you happen to have sage on you, feel free to light it for me, and the energy is out there. The energy has been actually very good in this house anyway. Things that I'm grateful for. My friend Sakura is visiting, and it's been so fun, as always. We've just been doing what we usually do, which is chill and get high and eat food and talk about the world and this existence and things. And it's always a super fun time. I always learn so much about myself and the world. And I'm just really I have a lot of gratitude. I receive a lot of love all the time, and it's really great. I know not everyone gets that, so sorry. Love you. Things will get better, probably, but also who knows. So Sakura's here. We've been kicking it with Billy. Later today, we're going to be going to my friend Stacy's house. Stacy is also another dope, powerful, cool person. You might know her, she's the bus lady. She's got if you're at the Baltimore farmers markets and stuff, she sells vintage clothes off of a cool colored school bus, and she's dope. So go visit her. But in the meantime, we're gonna go over and hang out in the hot tub and do hot tub talk. I think that's gonna be something I'm gonna create one day. Invite me to your hot tub, and me and Billy will come and have fun conversation, engaging conversation with you and stuff. I think it's gonna change the world. I think it's gonna just change the world. Anyway, Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the first. It's not an episode. We're just gonna go hang out and talk. And it's a. Has it been like a time of, I don't know, great change for anyone else? Just a lot of like, the same lessons from the universe seem to be coming back in different costumes, but it's still kind of the same lesson. Are you learning it? I don't know. I think a lot of people, and by a lot of people, I mean like myself. Like I've seen some people in my circle. Oh my God, brilliant! You're probably right. Love you, Billy. Yeah, a lot of stuff is coming up, and some of my friends, they're turning 28. I hear around 28, like that's like your Saturn return, and so like kind of something comes and shakes you up and really like makes things clear, I think, and kind of you get into your next level. So if you're 28ish, look out. What's been going on. And not that it's going to be anything bad per se. It'll just be the thing, and it'll open a lot of doors for you. I today, like, what day is it? It's like the 8th. Um, on the 5th of January. Sorry, it's just like, don't I have pretty hands? On the 5th of January was the 5-year anniversary of my divorce. I've mentioned this like a million times, but Billy is my second husband. Man, I'm so like that thing, like 3 times the charm. I don't know. Second time seems to be really working. Oh, actually, but you know what? Billy is like my 3rd serious relationship. So, all right, 3rd time's the charm. Yeah. But yeah, 5 years ago, kind of ish today, my divorce from my ex-husband was finalized. Oh, let me bring that shit up actually. Maryland Judiciary Case Search. If you ever need to like, by the way, this is a pro tip. If you ever need to like do a little cursory free background check on someone who has some connection to the state of Maryland, you should go to the Maryland Judiciary Case Search. Watch video. Maryland Judiciary Case Search. We're going to type in Newman hyphen Blunt. Sorry, no one stole my identity, but it's all public record. So, and this is a good way, to make sure the person you are like interacting with or someone you love is interacting with is like, all above. Remember that? Remember that? Isn't that weird that there was a time before 2020, but before 2016, before Donald Trump was president? Cuckoo. But anyway, back in 2013, I had just broken up with my first boyfriend, who was like fine, but he was my first boyfriend, and I didn't have him until like I was like 22 or something, 23. So by that time, I was like, I feel like I'm a babe. Why is like no one, really taking me seriously? I was in law school at my like cutest at that time. Now I'm obviously much cuter. But anyway, we go, I divorce, I'm sorry, I break up with my first boyfriend. I found with my first boyfriend, I was like doing a lot of the stuff. I was the only one with a car, and I was like driving my boyfriend to all of the, his job, his, activities and things. And I was just like doing all the stuff kind of, and he wasn't really giving anything back. He like refused to get his like bike fixed. He didn't want to get a car. He didn't want to get like a full-time job because he wanted to like have time for like his passion, which was like a theater thing. which I love it. I love an artist, you know? And I love an artist who, like, I like that he came from Colorado to a place like Baltimore to start a theater company with his friends. I'm like, that's an interesting thing. But yeah, by like the time I graduated from law school, this guy was like still kind of in the same place, and I just felt very stuck. I felt very like I was very sexy, but I was not like attracted to this dude. And so I one time I went to buy weed with my friend from law school. We went to like her dealer who dealt to the like dental students and business school students in the University of Maryland system. We go, she opens the door, it's this like sexy Asian man. Like kind of like, I'm gonna like Google sexy Asian man, see if I can, let's see, how are you going? Oh my God, okay, actually, wow, all right, maybe the internet's version of a sexy Asian man is actually different than 2013 Sheba's conception, because actually he was not this hot. Okay, he wasn't as hot as any of these people. No, but I guess I'll pick this one because he's the least muscular. But like, not to say the dude wasn't muscular, but he was just, like not like these. Oh my God, I can't believe these other ones. Really sexy. But he did have very high cheekbones. He was tall. He was like 6 foot, maybe. He was Filipino, but like other people in the Asian diaspora often thought he was Chinese. I don't know what that means. I don't know about the ins and outs of colorism within the Asian diaspora or whatever, but it seemed like it meant like, oh, like kind of like he's light skinned, like high yellow or something. Seemed like the gist of the commentary. All this is to say he was very sexy. And he was also like book smart and street smart, like Bay Area Asian. That might also be a helpful characterization. He played basketball. He like introduced me to the Wu-Tang Clan. Anyway, this one's kind of hot too, but like maybe, in a more soft way, which I am into. Anyway, where's the main screen? Okay. We went to, I broke up with my first boyfriend. I, like told my friend, I was like, hey, is that guy like available? And, she was like, he's engaged to this, pharmacist, person at pharmacy school. And anyway, I saw him, I, started buying some weed from him. Very hiked up prices, by the way. He was like actually like the second Asian guy who dealt weed to me in Baltimore City. Isn't that strange? Like I like know like a shit ton of Asian drug dealers. But at that time only 2, and he was not as good as the one that I've known for the longest. Anyway, we end up, I invite him to this like a bass nectar concert, like an EDM concert. We were gonna do some like Molly and hang out. He actually like, he had broken up with his ex-fiance. In a ridiculous story that I'll probably get to, sometime today. We went to this concert together, did some, actually he didn't go. He like met up with me after. He couldn't get a ticket. And so we met up after, hung out in a bathtub, did Molly. It was very sexy. He like kind of couldn't get it up because we'd done Molly, and sometimes that's an effect of it. But it was still a very like beautiful, that Justin Timberlake fucking album had just come out, the I'm in love with that girl, that one. So it just felt very like beautiful. I was like, done with my first boyfriend, and like there's this like new guy who like I knew he was like always, when I was like trying to pick up weed from him, he was always like driving his girlfriend to like a pharmacy tests she had to take, or like doing all this stuff for her. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's awesome. Like I didn't really have that with my ex, so I was like, wow, he like drives his girlfriend to like things. Cool. Which kind of tells you how kind of low my standards were. I was like, oh, great. And he's like sexy, kind of like me. Great. I love that. Um, anyway, um, yeah, we start kind of dating after that. Like he wanted to hang out, and I was like, well, I'll come over to you. And he was like very like touched by that I was going to go out of my way to like come to him and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. Anyway, the my notes here are love, potential, and rose-colored glasses, because that's kind of what I was like. I was just seeing, I felt like free from my first boyfriend, and I was just like, I am hot and sexy, and I am like gonna go like paint the town red. I'm already a lawyer, so like, I can't really fall that far. Like I can like afford to like safely do some, drugs responsibly, hang out, like do all these cool things. And um yeah, so we had like a really fun time. Like you know, we would like go to just like go out in like Baltimore and stuff, which actually now I'm trying to think like maybe it was just the Molly. It made it seem like super duper fun. But like now that I'm thinking back, I'm like, what did we really do? I don't even know. But one of the things I liked about him, he like had a double master's in business and finance. He was like, um, he had started this company camping out for like fancy Jordans, and like selling them to people in the country who like wanted them, because oh my god, introduced me to that market. What a ridiculous, like the sneakerhead kind of thing, man. But he said he had this business that he was like teaching kind of disadvantaged youths business skills through this business. Like they were camping out and doing stuff. That thing is like such a fucking racket. You're supposed to like, they only put out like 20 shoes in a store of this new release, and you have to get like a lottery ticket. You have to go and get a raffle fucking ticket, and if they call you, you can like come and like be like, hey, do you have a size 6 or whatever? And they might not. They're like, oh no, we only have like one of those. We only we have like a couple size 12s. We have like, it just seemed so like weird. And the shoes aren't even that cute. Like it was like 200, almost $300 for like freaking sneakers that come out every month that like look really like regular. I don't know, but it was a whole culture behind it. My ex, he would do these like unboxing. Also, that's the thing, you can't use the shoes for the purpose of shoes. Like once you put them on, they decrease in value. Once you like walk around in them, they're like destroyed. Like they're like, you might as well just wear them like shoes. I think a lot of people, you buy them for the purpose of like reselling them, which is like, okay. But I'm not here to like judge anyone's fucking whatever, the thing that gives them pleasure. And I was certainly not trying to judge his thing. I was like, okay, this is interesting, I've never heard of this. And like I like felt cool like camping out for like sneakers and things. But also I was like 25, and a lawyer. I'm like camping out for sneakers, you know um but I liked being like helpful. And like I thought he like had a really good kind of vision for the future of like mixing like art and business. And um it was cool. I actually, right before I met him, I made a vision board where I had this guy Eddie Wang. You know him? He like wrote this book, Fresh Off the Boat. He owns this a bow shop. There's like series of famous bow shops in LA, and like he was on this show Vice. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like he would go to different like food places, like dive places, and you know, be cool and stuff and like do cool things. And I was like, that's cool. I love that. Oh, and he you know, he was a first gen child of immigrants, and so he went to law school and he became a lawyer first. But he was like, this is not for me, and he like started selling weed, and then he um eventually started this bow shop, and then like from there like just went on. Like I love that. I love the idea of being like, you know, being able to do it, you know, in the legit book smart way, but like displaying even more creativity by like, you know, doing it differently, you know, making money, you know, in a creative kind of way, mixing like your actual passions and your culture and all this shit. I love that shit. Anyway, I had Eddie Wang on my vision board, and I was like him, but like sexier. So then, imagine my surprise, this guy, you know, this beautiful Asian guy who's book smart and street smart, like opens the door, and I was like, oh shit, wait a minute, hold on. Anyway, so like 6 months in, he like is talking about how like, you know, he wants to marry me. And I was like, I knew it. I'm amazing. Duh. Of course someone would want to marry me. Like, you know, right off the bat. But I also recognize like that's kind of crazy, you know. But like my own parents, they knew each other for like 10 years, and like, you know, we're dating. My dad would ask her to marry him, you know, she wasn't ready, she'd be ready, he wasn't ready. And like then like 10 years in, they got married at the Justice of the Peace when she was pregnant with my sister. They decided to finally make it official. But they didn't like live together until my sister was born, which I was like, that's a really cool way to do things. Like, you know, it doesn't really matter if they were to have gotten married like 6 months or, you know, 10 years. They were obviously supposed to be together. That's kind of what I was like thinking. And so I was like, well, this guy, double master's, business and finance, that's a sure bet. I'm a lawyer, you know, like this is going to be great. And so we got married, and I recognized though it was like kind of like crazy. So I was like, let me not like, I don't want to have a wedding, like a big wedding or anything. So it was just like me and him and our friend and his boyfriend, like took some pictures, and bing, bang, boom. See, I'm not like a, you know, I don't need a whole bunch of stuff. I recognize like it's about the relationship. And I was like, okay, so let's not even like move in together initially. Let's keep our separate space because we're still getting to know each other, you know, and we can go to couples counseling so that we can like learn how to communicate. We can really like not be focusing on like a huge wedding and all this image. We can really like focus on getting to know each other and like starting this life together, which like is so smart and so clever. I recognize like I'm so good. Like I could totally be one of these people who gets married after, you know, 6 months and like stays married and has like a beautiful, happy marriage. But alas, 'twas not to be. Oh, I wrote rose-colored glasses because when you're wearing rose-colored glasses, red flags just look like regular flags. So when like I was like, oh man, this guy is like always, you know, with his ex-fiance, he was always driving her back and forth. That's actually because he had been cheating on her. And he was trying to get back in her good graces, you know, get her to, and she had canceled the wedding. Her parents had canceled the wedding. And, you know, he was trying to win her back by doing like everything she wanted, drive her everywhere, you know. Yeah, he like, and so when he told me about like he was like, you know, he cheated on her at his bachelor party with this woman, and he, you know, met up with this woman again, got like a fucking tattoo, like they got these matching infinity tattoos. This woman was like cheating on her like person, and it was just a mess, y'all. It was a mess. But he thought it would be a good idea. He was like, let me be honest with my fiance. And so he like goes up to New York, which is where, you know, a girl he was cheating on him with lives, and, you know, takes his fiance up with him, and hangs out with the fiance and the, you know, mistress. And, you know, the next day takes her to what's that one? The Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, the Brooklyn Bridge. And tells her, so I have been like cheating on you with that girl. And so he says his fiance is like, what? And is like, you know, tries to like, is like, you know, wants to throw herself off the bridge. And girl, I would have thrown him off the bridge. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? But, you know, me, like, this is only my second boyfriend. I certainly did not have this eventful of a, you know, relationship with my first boyfriend. So I was just like, whoa, this is like what an interesting chapter. What a kind of brave move to, you know, recognize you did something wrong and try to be honest about it. But like, actually, no, that was a stupid thing for him to do and to try. And, you know, it obviously didn't work. She, you know, but she was trying to like kind of keep it together and like forgive him and make it work. But like, he was just like, you know, she didn't want him to smoke weed or to sell weed. And he like did it for a little bit. Like he, you know, complied for a little bit, but then, you know, started to just do it behind her back a little bit more. And then, you know, would be like, no, this is me. I have to do it this way. And anyway, they stopped dating. She like had bought a wedding dress and everything, and she like, you know, was like made like a bill. She was like, these are all the things you need to like pay me back for this ring, this like blah blah blah. And so like I was, you know, only hearing his side of the story, and like, if you know me, I am very like for my friends, I am on their side, and I am trying to like, you know, I see it, I can like really put myself in their position and be like, I totally get that. I would definitely have done that. And that's shitty of her for like doing this and blah, blah, blah. But you know, when you're wearing rose colored glasses, red flags just look like regular flags. So I was like, wow, what an interesting, you know, piece of the tapestry that makes this person him. But like, actually that was like a really troubling story that like shows a lot about his decision making and like what he does when he is stressed or blah blah blah. Another thing he would do, he would always like, you know, kind of blame his ex for like, you know, like not supporting him in his dreams. Like he was like, he didn't really want to go to business school, but his ex like, you know, forced him to, you know, she wanted him to have this like, you know, fancy degree, and like he wanted to like just go out on his own and do, you know, business and things. And so he was kind of like, he like resented her a little bit for like making him do that, but also was benefiting from the image of having, you know, a double master's and things. It also made me think that he was smart and good with money. But I realize now maybe that business and finance schools are rackets, you know, that are meant to like trick people into thinking, oh, this person like knows how to do stuff and is going to make sound, ethical business decisions. But like, at the very least, it didn't seem to rub off on my ex. And anyway, he, by 2016, we had like separated once because he had like done a whole bunch of crazy things. We had gotten back together. I was the only one paying rent. I was the only one who had a car because his had gotten repossessed. And I was like drowning. I was like, oh God. He stopped working. Like he stopped doing that business thing. He stopped paying his taxes. And he was kind of like rationalizing it. Like, you know, it's smart to not pay taxes. You know, it's an online business, all these things. Like even his business though, it was like, you know, he was like, he would charge people like $300 for these fancy shoes. But they would actually be like, he had a hookup with like a person who like kind of runs a factory in China that makes Jordans, but like when they stop making shoes for, you know, Nike, they can keep making shoes. So he would have these like janky kind of fucking Jordans that like the sole was coming out, or like the logo was off. Just like all these little like compromises that, you know, he thought it was smart. He's like, it's the same shoe. And like, you know, these customers, like, they're paying for the look, the image, you know, they don't really care if it's like not the real deal. Which he was really telling me about who he is. And like I was putting, you know, some rose-colored glasses on and just like really seeing the best out of there. I was like, you know what? I can see how that is pretty smart. And when we would camp out for sneakers and things, we would get pizza and we would bring it to the employees of the stores. And I was like, you know, but like if he didn't get like the whatever, like the shoes that he wanted, he would be like mad at them, you know, and he'd be like, man, I'm like wasting money on these guys. And so I was like, okay, so like we're bribing them to get like better placement in this pointless lottery. And he was like, well, we're not bribing them because I don't really expect anything in return. But I was like, but yeah, you do. You get really mad when they don't give you anything in return. You say you like wasted, you know, time and stuff. And he just always like didn't like, he wanted to like have like language, you know, soft language around it's not this, it's this. But like I'm just a very kind of direct person. Like I'm like, okay, well, it does look like bribery. And like, you know, all these other different things are just like, you know, he played in this like Filipino basketball league, like a little rec league with other Filipino guys. And my ex had a pretty good 3-point shot. Pretty good, you know. He's no Aisha Curry's husband, but like he's all right. And the knowledge that he was really good at, like comparatively kind of good at shooting 3-pointers, and he was like tall. He like held it over his teams. He was such a bad sport. If his team lost, he would be screaming at them. He would be like, I wasted my time like coming out here to help you guys, and you didn't even pass me the ball. And like I, you know, of course, I'm in the stands, you know, supporting my person and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, calm down. And he would keep being like, I think I'm going to retire from this. And I'm like, one, I don't know if you retire from something for which you are paying to participate in. But, you know, also, yeah, please do. This seems to be very stressful for you. It's stressful for me. You know, you keep getting like you're paying money to like yell and scream at these dudes. You're acting kind of entitled, and it was just he seemed very entitled to like act however he wanted to, and it was just a mess, a dang mess. So anyway, that's like this is gonna have to be like a 2-part episode on divorce, just because like it was a mess. Like my life was a mess. I felt very like trapped. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. I married someone after 6 months and he turned out to be like crazy. Like joke's on me. Like duh. Of course that was gonna happen. That's why you don't get married after 6 months, because you don't know a person. A person can pretend to be the person that you need, you want, for 6 months. That's not that long, you know? That's just, you know. And so I realized about myself, I'm like, you know what? I think I care about my image more than I realized. Like I am trying to maintain this image that like I've got it, you know. Yeah, I make like crazy decisions for you guys, but like me, I'm cool. I got it, you know. Like I made this like seemingly rash decision, but like I have all these plans for why it's actually very well reasoned and stuff. And like my ex was just proving me wrong, and I was like, fuck, come on, keep it together. He just like could not. He like, I saw that he, you know, struggled to control his emotions. Like when he felt slighted, he really felt like everyone had to know that he was like feeling bad. He would like sulk, an adult man sulking, like, and like mad if anyone would be like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. What? I'm fine. And it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, and like, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm married to this guy. Oh, it's my husband. There is no greater humiliation than being married to an idiot. To being married to an immature, you know, sad dude who is really image based and like he's this like, you know, kind of like you have this like kind of like he wanted to be this Bruce Lee Zen cool guy, but like he was absolutely not. And I realized like he kind of resented my ability to kind of actually be a cool person, and just like he resented my family. Like I had so much love around me, you know. I will speak honestly about, you know, my family. We obviously weren't perfect, as no family is, but like we're pretty fucking close to perfect. People also used to always be like, oh my God, you guys are like the Cosbys, you know. And like when we were adults, like when I was married to my ex, we my aunts, my mom, my sister, my cousins, the women, we would get together and like have a sisters lunch. We would like make vision boards one time. We made like beaded necklaces and shit one time. We did like henna, belly dancing classes and stuff. It was cute. Maybe once every 1 to 3 months we would do that. And like my ex would be like, wow, you really spend a lot of time with your family. In a, you know, just the way I said it, in a way that implied it was like weird, like it was unreasonable, like kind of, you're strange for doing that. And I was like, I guess, you know. He would try to tell me like you know, my parents like coddled me and like I didn't know how to do anything, and I wasn't like an independent person. And I learned like, oh, I like to fancy myself. Like, I think I can do things like, but I found myself trying to prove to him like, no, I don't need help. I'll pay all the rent, you know, like, oh, your lights are going out in your apartment because you didn't pay your light bill for 8 months. I got it. Please. You know, oh, your car got repossessed because you weren't paying for insurance. No worries. I've got a car, you know, like we can use my car. We don't need 2 cars anyway, you know. Using all of my like creative problem solving, I got him a therapist because at one point like he stopped working and he stopped, like he would just like lay in bed for like 15 hours a day, 15 to 18 hours. I would like do a full day of work at home and he would still be like in bed. And it was like, it just felt like crazy. I would like, when we would go out to like people I knew, to my friends or something, I would never know if he was gonna like ruin it. He loves to like kind of like make it like pick on something, pick a fight in public. And like, it just made me be like, okay, I don't know if this guy is gonna like make a big deal of it. So like, let's just like do things together. We'll just stay home and you know, not really interact with other people. And back to being grateful for friends. One of my good friends, Rachel, she at one point she gave me we were playing this bocce fucking like social league, bocce ball. You know what that is? Like Italian guys roll these little balls and stuff. Aaron, what's up? Hey man. We were in this bocce league, and you know, it was like one night a week on a Wednesday in Canton. I would like come home though, and he would be, you know, implying that I had like gotten drunk and like slept with someone. I was like, I've been gone for like 2 hours. Like the people in a bocce social league in Baltimore are not, I would not cheat on you, cheat on my husband. I married you after 6 months. Come on, I love you. I'm trying to show you how much I love you and I'm invested in like working on this. And like, each thing I tried, he, had a way to spin it. So it was actually like a nefarious thing I was doing. And so yeah, after one of these, bocce league things, I was telling Rachel, like, I was just like telling her what was going on, and like started like sobbing. And, she said she was, sad to see me like this. She's like, you usually have such a light, and you seem like dimmer, and she had seen me like that, and she sent me this, like, she was like, my therapist like had given me this, and see if this resonates with you. It was called this circle of violence and power, or like violence and control, or something like that, and it was all about the different forms of like abuse. And like I was like, oh no, financial abuse, oh, emotional abuse. Like, I'm like, oh, damn it. Come on, me? Sheba? Oh, come on. How did this happen? Like, I literally like got some air and like realized like, where did I get in these clothes? Like, what am I doing? Who am I? Man, if you're the person who makes you feel like confused, like you're just like, I don't know who you are. This one time I was like doing something simple. I was like moving from, my apartment to move into my ex's apartment, my then, husband's apartment, which I ended up paying for. And I was like, packing my clothes, and I started like crying, and I called my mom. I can't do this simple thing. I'm so stupid. And my mom was like, no, you're not. Is he telling you that? And so I'm very lucky to have lots of love in my life, and lots of people to help pull me back from the brink, and to like remind me of who I am, and like what I deserve, and who I deserve, how I deserve to feel. My mom always says like I don't really cry a lot. I had colic in the first 6 months of when I was born, and so I like screamed nonstop. And then after that, though, I don't really cry at all. I bottle that shit up right tight and inside. Yeah, like so. When I was with my ex, I was sobbing all the time. I was always like, I felt, like I couldn't do anything, like I was gonna get fired at work, like I was, everyone hated me, like, all these fucking things that I just felt, bad. Which brings me to my next point. I am really glad that like the internet exists. I found myself on Reddit, which I'm not usually on, but like I really got into the subreddit Our Relationships and Our Relationship Advice, and I would just kind of troll it to see situations that sounded like mine, like husband refuses to work, and husband. So when he was lying in bed all this time, not working. When he did want to work, he decided he wanted to be a professional poker player. That had always been his dream, and he was really good at it. And he'd gotten burned by a friend years ago, so but like now he thinks is the time to like, be a poker player. And so he made it look good. He like watched these documentaries on poker strategy, got all these books on, game theory and things. And I was like, okay, this is another industry that I am not familiar with. People do seem to make some money gambling. Like you can really make it big, but and also I was like, okay, so you're gonna be a gambler, and he was like, a poker player. I'm like, okay, but we would go to the casino. Like Baltimore had just gotten the casino Horseshoe. And he was like, come meet up with me. We can have dinner. Like they give you free dinner. They give you free pizza. They give you free pizza vouchers if you consistently give all of your money to play poker. At first I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. But then I realized it's because, he's just losing all of his money, and they want him to keep coming back and trying to win, trying to hit it big. And so I was like, hey, could you at least, let's make this legit. Like, let's, put your, keep an accounting of what you're starting with, all the money that you're putting in to poker, what your losses are, and, just keep a track of that. And so that we can tax your winnings, like it would be a regular job. Also, I was like, hey, that therapist that he got him recommended he, maybe try being a substitute teacher, which is really the bare minimum of applying to a job. It's not even really a job, and he was like, yes, totally, totally. But, I'm going to focus most of my time on this gambling thing, poker playing thing. And, I was like, cool, cool, cool. I don't want to nag. You don't want to be a nag, right? Women are always feeling like, I certainly felt pressure to like, I didn't want people to think I was a gold digger, only caring about money. I didn't want people to think I was a nag or someone who, I didn't want him to feel like he was in a prison. I think like there's an idea of like when you're married, it's your wife is like a prison warden keeping you from fully living, fully being you. And I was like, that's not who I am. So I was trying really hard to prove that was cool. Like, no, I get it. You're doing it your way. Cool. I'm here to help and support and, help guide and whatnot. And really though, that's not what he wanted. He wanted someone to like blame for anything that went wrong. And he wanted someone to support him and celebrate him solely if it went right, and so I got really good at like reading kind of his moods and, being extra kind and compassionate when it seemed like, he lost money or something, and just, it was exhausting, y'all, exhausting. So, on Reddit, I was looking, like husband is a professional poker player or husband has a gambling addiction. I started to like type in and, time after time, the response to someone's question like that was leave, girl. I'm 50 years old now. My husband has been doing this for 25 years. He says he'll change. He says he just needs a little more time. And now I'm 50 and, I'm trapped. Like we have kids, I'm the only one working. I have to give all this endless support and, so get out now. It's not going to change. Think about like, is this how you want to, if it doesn't change, is this how you would live the rest of your life? And like, I was like, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So the idea of, I was telling myself, like, it's not all bad though. Like sometimes it's like really fucking good. It's amazing. And like, I've certainly heard people be like, 98% of the time it's an amazing relationship. It's so good. But like 2% of the time, it's just like unbearable. It's absolute shit. And I saw this like story, this like thought exercise of, if this person who you're having this like, 99%, 98% of the time it's great, 2% is shit, like if this person, had gotten you this cake, this birthday cake, for your birthday, it was like made with all the most delicious ingredients, everything you liked. It was expensive. It was beautiful. It said like, happy birthday, my love, on the top of it, and like beautiful calligraphy. But like the calligraphy of happy birthday, my love, it was written in pure human feces. So only 2% of the cake is shit. Would you eat it though? Would you eat a shit cake? If it's only 2% shit, can you consume it? Can you live with that? Maybe you can. I had to see like, oh, hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A less like beautiful analogy would be like if 365 days, in a year, this person was 98% of the time so amazing, so loving, so perfect for you. But 2% of the year, whatever day that is, however many days that is, 2% of the year, you knew this person was going to punch you in the face. It's only 2% of the time. The rest of the time, you know, it's amazing. But you never know when, but 2% of the days, you're gonna, you know, get a sock to the fucking face. Can you take it? Some people can. Some people, you know, don't have the option but to take it. But I think we all have more power than we realize. And I get it. It's like, you know, you don't want to look dumb. Like that's how I felt. I was like, damn it, I like look like a flighty fucking girl who like got married quickly and didn't think about it enough. Which sucked because that was also what I kind of had done, you know, and I was mad that I was going to have to kind of admit defeat, and I was mad that he was not doing anything bad enough. He wasn't like cheating on me. He was too sad to fucking like, I would feel bad for any of my sisters who like got tricked into having sex with him just because like, girl, However, I would have been like, thank you. Thank you. Finally, he's done something bad enough that I could like, you know, justify, you know, cheating. But like really he was just being like sad and irresponsible. And I like, you know, he would keep being like, you know, like, give me another chance. You know, I'm trying. Like, you know, everyone's on their own journey, which is all true, you know. And like sometimes he would like be at the casino all night, and I would be like, oh my God, I kind of hope he dies. I like the idea of being a black widow. That's like sexy. That's very sexy. Like a black widow. Ooh, yes. Like, as opposed to like a black divorcee. Like, I started to be like, wow, that would be really nice. But then I was like, actually, that would be like a hassle. I'd have to do all this paperwork. I would feel bad that I like kind of, you know, didn't have the pussy to like let go, you know? And it was kind of also interesting because I saw that he was, you know, he didn't like me. He didn't like me. He resented me. He resented my success. Like, he resented how other people responded to me, that other people liked me, that, like, I liked myself. So he would try to, like, you know, take me down a peg, make me, you know, humble me, make me know that I wasn't all that I wasn't perfect, that, like, you know, he is actually doing me a favor because most people would not put up with me, you know. And I, you know, kind of believed it for a little bit because, you know, he was only my second boyfriend. Like, guys had not seemed to put up with me, you know, like been interested in like, you know, putting up with me. And so I was like, maybe. But also like he was just an unreliable person, you know. And so like I recognized he wanted to break up with me. He wanted to divorce. He would threaten divorce all the time and then like take it back the next day. And I was like, he doesn't want to do this, but he's too chicken shit to fucking like divorce. So I have to do it. He's just being an asshole. He's just being a sad sack fucking good for nothing, forcing me again to do all the hard work. And so then luckily, you know, not luckily, but coincidentally, my dad died suddenly. And like on that same day, my ex lost all of his money playing poker. And he had like, you know, went home and like came back the next day, you know, to pick up stuff because I was going to be staying at my mom's house, you know, while we got ready for the funeral and stuff. And yeah, when I went back the next day, he was like, do you want to have dinner? And I was like, I like really don't have an appetite, you know? And he was like, he sheepishly asked me if I could buy him dinner because he lost all of his money playing poker. I was like, I laughed. Also, because like on the radio, I was listening to the oldies XM radio station, and this song, First I Look at the Purse, comes on. At first I look at the purse. It's all about like, you know, I don't care about like how hot you are, you know, I care how much money you've got. And like, damn. Damn. And so it came on like right then. And so I had to kind of like laugh and just be like, let's go to McDonald's, you know, like, let me buy this fucking good for nothing a plate. And so then, you know, my dad died. It took about 10 days to plan the funeral. In that time, like, my ex didn't like call me or text me. He didn't come to the wake. He didn't come to the funeral. And I was like, okay, all right, I can wait for another one of my parents to die, or I can get the message that this guy doesn't like me, and that, like, you know, what is marriage about? You know, if not to have someone to like help you in a time like this, you know. And it was really nice. Like, my friend Kendra had come down from Brooklyn, and she stayed with my family through the wake and the funeral, went back up. The next day, my ex texted me. He was like, hey, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you. Would you like to get dinner or do some yoga? Am I going to have to pay for it? Is it on my fucking dime? But also, it was just like, it was very like, it was great. I felt like, wow, I've done everything. I've done everything to try. And this guy doesn't really want to do this. He wants all the benefits of being married to me, of which there are many. Feel free to list them in the comments, Billy Button. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I'm amazing. I'm a really powerful partner, and I'm a really good friend and person to have in your corner. And this person wants all of that and doesn't want to like give any of it back, doesn't want to pour into me. And I'm exhausted. I was just like really tired. And the night my dad died and I went home, and like me and my brother and sister like slept in my bed in my parents' bed with my mom. We were just all really sad, but I was like, I've never felt so free than when I was like sharing a bed with my entire, family, mourning the sudden death of my father and like my mother becoming a widow. And I felt so like, oh my, thank God. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I don't have to spend another night in that house. And I never did. I never went back to stay over at the place I was living with my ex after that. I was just like, I think I'm done with this one. I went to, therapy. I had a therapist at the time, and after therapy I was supposed to call my ex, and I had done this like online thing, like, do you qualify for a divorce in Maryland? I did. I took a screenshot of it. It's like, great. And then like, as I was about to call my ex after therapy, on the XM radio station, this song by the Silhouettes called Get a Job came on. And I was like, God damn, that's so funny. And so I sent, I took a picture of the song, and I sent it to my ex. And I realized when I sent it, I had also sent him the screenshot of the divorce thing. And I was like, oh, fuck. Then I was like, you know what? Actually, I think the universe is like, girl, get out of here. Come on. Don't you like yourself? You don't deserve someone like this. Get out of here. So last thing, fear of looking stupid is holding you back. I definitely didn't want to look like a failure or a quitter, or, and I was like, I know he's going to like subtly, poison the water kind of against me to whoever he can. And he's going to act like it's, well, two people just sometimes don't work out. And I was like, no, that is not what happened. That was not what happened. You were a piece of shit. And I was like, damn, I'm going to look, I'm going to look crazy. I'm going to look like I don't have it together, and that I'm just not awesome. And like, I'm leaving this guy when he's down. I'm just another person to like leave this guy when he's down. But like, girl, actually, no, it would only be, stupid if I stayed. If this guy finds out that like, man, he can do all this, and I'm still gonna keep like paying rent for two human adults, what else is he gonna do? You know, it would just set a really bad precedent. So it was like very easy to, you know, be like, great, I've tried my hardest. Um, and, you know, fear of looking stupid holds you back, but it also doesn't prevent you from looking stupid. I had to be like, you know what? I would rather look stupid than fucking stay in this relationship. I do not care. I'm absolutely done. And so, yeah, when I finally, like filed for divorce, like the laws in Maryland had just changed so that like, if you didn't have children, you could just, uh, do a property separation agreement, and you wouldn't have to wait 12 months to file for divorce. So you could just mutually consent to divorce. And so I did that. Maybe 6 months later, we like had our court date, and I was like, awesome. Oh my God, I'm going to have this chapter behind me. Wouldn't you fucking know it? Proving to me like, wow, this guy is not someone to rely on. He didn't come to the hearing, so we couldn't mutually consent to divorce. And I was like, you know, I was really deflated. I was actually, you know, I was ready to have a divorce party afterwards. I was going to hang out with my friend Stacy and stuff. And so I was really disappointed, and I was like trying to like hold back tears. I was just like frustrated in front of the judge. And it was a woman, and she was like, don't cry, go downstairs, you know, file a 12-month separation, you know, divorce. And that only requires one party. So file that today, and we'll get this taken care of, you know, shortly. And so I did that. And January 5th, 2018, I got the letter that our divorce was finally finalized. Amazing, amazing. And then I went on to have what many would say is the glow up of the century. And it's not a physical thing, because I was always super duper hot, of course. But, you know, 28 to 35 has been like such a fun time. Oh my God. I keep discovering all these new versions of myself. My circle has gotten like smaller in many ways, but more quality. It has been quality over fucking quantity. Everyone like kind of fucking admires my bravery too. Like they seem to like me more the more I make mistakes. I didn't realize that like I was afraid to look to like make mistakes publicly. But that maybe people didn't see me as someone who makes mistakes, you know, like, and so when I'm honest about like, hey, I tried this thing and it did not fucking work, people love that. People are like, oh man, I was worried about looking stupid and making a mistake. And I'm here to tell you that, you know, you might feel like it's a mistake. It'll hurt. You might feel stupid, but you'll be free. So it's worth it. It's worth it, honey. So fun. Yeah, and actually, so January 5th, 2018, and a year and 2 months later, I connected with Mr. Billy Bunton on Tinder. And the rest, as they say, is an ongoing, beautiful history. So, yeah, it works out. It's a tough, like little bit after, but actually, like, I had so much fun. I got to, like, I obviously, you know, was doing like a lot of kind of caretaking for my ex-husband, my perfectly able-bodied and able-minded ex-husband. And so, you know, like when it's tough sometimes when you're taking care of someone, like when you're parenting them, you're not sexually attracted to them. I think it's a very healthy response, you know, like I don't want to have sex with this person who is essentially a child who I did not give birth to, and I don't like it. It's not fun. And oh, this is a cute little thing. Sorry, I'm just like playing around with this short hair style, and I like really love it. I feel like spunky, you know, which is a weird word, but anyway, yeah, so after, you know, I was so fucking horny, and like I went on this Soul Train cruise with my mom right after. Actually, it was a malt shop cruise. So even like, man, if you want to feel young and sexy, go on a cruise where the median age is 75. Everyone loved me. The band leader was this 20-year-old who was really good at playing the guitar. And he was obsessed with me. And so I was like 28. And so like, it was really nice to have this like 20-year-old band leader following me around the ship the whole time. And I was like, oh, still got it. Nice. Great. And I've only gotten fucking better since then. So it's been really nice. It's been really nice. So anyway, that was a long-winded story, but I just felt like I had to like give you a lot of backstory so you could appreciate, you know, the culmination a little bit better. A little foreplay and aftercare. Oh, let's see. No? Wait, yes. Great. Yeah, so anyway, love potential and rose-colored glasses. These are my takeaways. Yes, do not, try to prove how little, that you're not a gold digger. Don't try to prove how different you are from this person's past, exes and stuff. Don't try to prove, that you have no needs. No good deed goes unpunished. It's not going to benefit you. You're going to find a person who's going to be really excited that you don't have any needs. And they're going to be like, great, because I do. Good. Don't do it. Rose-colored glasses. When you're wearing rose-colored glasses, red flags just look like regular flags. Take off them glasses. See those flags for what they are. Like part of the interesting tapestry that makes this person them, but also, things that you have to recognize. You are special, but like you are not that special one who understands his heart and like is going to be the one to fix him, to help him see how powerful he is. Like you might not be. And if you've tried your hardest, like I did, and he's still not, great. You can kind of be comfortable that like, okay, great. I tried everything. This person is obviously not for me. And I want to free this person to go find who is for them. And I want to free myself to find who is for me. And you do find it. It's really awesome. It's really beautiful. And you'll be able to see the people who are for you are so dope. I mean, if you're dope like me, at least. It's so great. It's so like affirming. Like, oh, hell yes. Look at my like sexy, cool, interesting, independent, talented, kind friends and loved ones. Really great. Yeah, shit cake. If you would not eat a cake made of shit, made of 2% shit, do not stay in a relationship that is 2% shit. Sometimes your person is like the person you think is your person is just tall. Sometimes this person will keep proving to you how unreliable they are and that you can't count on them and that they are going to tacitly, passively ask you to demand that you do all of the hard work of keeping the relationship together, of nurturing, of understanding, of compromising. And you're going to just see like the goalpost is going to keep moving and you're not going to get anything that you want. And you deserve to get what you want. You do, honey. You do. And yeah, your fear of looking, so you'll have to do it yourself. But that's okay. You'll have probably proved over the past however many years you've been putting up with this that like you're good at doing things yourself. You've been doing things yourself this entire time. So this is just one more thing to help put the nail on the head that like, okay, this person is not for you. They're not going to do hard work for you. So bye. Fear of looking stupid is holding you back and it's not preventing you from looking stupid. So you might as well just go ahead and look stupid. It's worth it. It's scary, but it's worth it. And like, I look stupid, but like I'm happy and free and powerful. So it's not so bad. All right. That's all I've got. I think maybe next week, maybe I'll do a part 2 on divorce. I'll see what people thought and if they have any questions and if they want me to like talk about anything specific or whatever maybe I'll put something together for that, because it's a big topic, and I think we put a lot of weight on this idea of like quantity over quality of marriage, like staying together forever, but like hating that person is like, we're told that that's kind of what you're supposed to do. And like, I don't think so. Not me, girl. Yeah, so anyway, I'll see you next week. Before we go, put your head up to your screen. Put your forehead against your screen really quick. I'm just gonna give you a little forehead kiss. Love you. Everything's made up. So, like, be cool. Don't stress. This is going to be a good week for you, I think. And stay tuned tomorrow for How Billy Sees It. Billy's podcast is going to be a good one. He's talking about the real man-nosphere. Ooh, what's that? I don't know, but I think you're going to fucking love it. So, enjoy. Love you guys. See you soon. Let's see. No, back. Here we go. Okay, and there we go.
It's Billy. Right now. Yo, what if I got attacked by the clones? What if the builder think they found a better stone? What if the beat don't match with the metronome? What if that means you walk your path alone? Call me a vagabond. If all these streets leading to Rome, then wherever I lay is my home. It's Brooklyn, boy strong. I manifest, I'm in the zone. Y'all silly better back up off my throne. Listen, boy nice, better give him his propers. How we come out sane from all the mosh pits. How we found the key to the game without a locksmith. How we seem to manage these lanes is so obnoxious. He let it flow from the brain, trusting the process. A vet journeyman on multiple rosters. If I want it, I go out and get it and cop it. A monster with limitless options. Man, like goddamn, y'all gon' soon figure out who I am. We stay cooking, y'all used to that spam. Western beef, I might square up at the square dance. Look, I changed plans, not even a southpaw, I'm an outlaw with a rare stance. Your crew never had a fair chance. Why's that? I kill a whole bear with my bare hands. Oh, they studied the dark? Well, I was raised in it. Brain shifted, the kid displayed insane physics. Best story never told, and it ain't finished. How we handled a rock, spun and kept the same pivot. I frame different, hot like a flame kitchen. A whole 2 levels out of your range gifted. Catch me on the highway, lane switching. Or right at the top of your Bay wish list. It's Billy. Right now. It's Billy.